Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name's Deanna, and today we're just going to be doing a couple easel cards. Now this one is a circle easel card, and then we're going to be doing a rectangle one and another circle one. So this one is the Snarky Cats Halloween one. Whoops, sorry about that glare. From Stampers Anonymous. It's a Tim Holtz one, and that number is CMS 407, Snarky Cat Halloween. And we use this little kitten here. And so is what now I used just my little Paper Studio leaf punch and sat with my Halloween fall scraps and just cut up tons and tons of, so there's a layer behind him, and then there's him, and then there's another layer, and then there's another layer on top of that. So there's just lots of, and then I just used what is it, my Winka Stella all over just the leaves, not him. And then when you bring this up and he stands up like that, it says I meant to behave, but there were too many other options. So he stands up like that, just like that. And then on the inside, you can write your greetings and your information. So that just, again, just like that, pops up and he stands. Okay. So let's go ahead and show you how I created my circle here. Now, for this one, I used a bowl. Okay. You can use any size circle you want, depending on the outcome of your card you want. So I'm going to show you how to make one a little bit smaller. This is just a glass. I have a piece of paper here that is going to be big enough so I can get 2 glasses on it. So whatever you decide for your size, you need it big, your paper big enough to be able to fit 2 of them on the same piece of paper. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half, just like that, and burnish it. I'm going to bring my glass in, and I want to bring it, excuse me, got a little frog in my throat this one, just far enough past there, and I can see through the glass just to see that I'm past the edge of the paper, just past it. Okay, let's see, I just want to make sure I'm just past, not too much. You remember the glass is thick, but like I said, you could use a can, you can use anything you want. So then I just draw my circle, and what that does is it allows us to have a flip piece there, and that is actually plenty. I'm going to come down a little bit, and I think that I don't need that big of a piece holding together. So let's redraw this. Whoops, maybe. Maybe. There we go. Just like that. Slippery. Make it good and dark so I know which one's which. Okay. There, it's a little bit less, not much. Then just take your scissors. I got a little froggy throat this morning, and you're just going to cut that out. Okay. Just like that. And then that opens up just like that. And like I said, you can use any size circle you want, depending on the size of card you want. All right, so then you would need to cut an additional, let's see, you would need 1, 2 additional of the full circles. Yes, so whatever your vessel is that you're going to use to make your circle, you're going to need more cuts from that. So don't put that too far away. So let's go ahead and start on the one that we've got prepped here. Whoops. So for this one, I'm using that same Snarky Cat, and I'm using the pumpkin and the witch hat. Okay, and I put together my front here so we don't have to mess with that. I've also got together my phrase. I know the voices aren't real, but they have some great ideas. So now for this one, I used my Spellbinders die set, and this is S4-911, and I used the largest one and then the next one down. So the large one of this is 4 1/4. This bowl was 4 3/4. So any dies you have that you want to use, you're going to do the same thing with your die. You're just going to bring it just over and then use that as your cut. So we've got our base cut here, and I cut that in colored cardstock. We've got an additional circle cut, and that's going to be our top. And then we have 2 of the next size down. So if you use the glass or bowl, you need one just a little bit smaller to draw your neck circles. Okay, so you need 1 additional of the full size, and then you need 2 of just a slightly smaller. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and attach. Whoops, I forgot to do this. So when you get your card ready, then you're going to open it, and you're going to fold this part in half, and you want it to line up exact because you want it in half, just like so. So if you're working with a regular circle, you do the same thing. So you would open this up, bring it down, and line up your edges here, and varnish. Okay, and that's going to create your easel part. See, so it'll lay flat, and then when it needs to stand up, it can stand up. Okay, same here. Lay flat, but then it can be an easel. Okay, so just fold that in half. Then when you glue your top piece on, your same size circle on, you're just going to glue this part here. Do not glue to this. So stay on this side of your score line. So I'm just going to put my glue on here, just like this. There we go. And these come together so easy. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to get lined up here. Oops, sliding a little bit. Sliding a little bit. There we go. Get a little press there. Whoops, that's not on there. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm like, what is it? It's his foot. I'm like, what is that? That's his foot. Okay, so now when we pull it up, he's gonna be like that. So I'm gonna actually kind of bend this card a little bit back a little bit. Flatten it back out a little bit. There we go. Now for him, I just stamped him in black StazOn ink. And all of these were stamped in black StazOn ink. So when I use my alcohol markers, that it doesn't bleed. Okay, so you need a permanent solvent ink that doesn't move around once it gets liquidated again. So I used, these are my Tri-Blend markers. They're Spectrum Noir. Really nice markers. I just started using them, and I'm in love. So I did the cat in the green, and then just the band of the witch's hat in purple, and then this pumpkin in the oranges here. And then, of course, the stem in the browns. Now, this little layout here I did see on a card in Pinterest, so I just thought it was so cute. And you can see that the tail comes down. So what I did is I just cut the tail off and then re-glued it to come alongside of them like that, alongside the pumpkin like that. So that's how I did that. So now we're going to prep our inside piece. So this has got to go down in here. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in half. Okay. Just like that. Now you can do this two ways. You can cut this just in half because it's plenty big. So we can just do that. But if it's a piece that's similar size or closer, then what you'd want to do is cut just a little bit off so that when you glued it on here, it didn't take up too much space. Because you want to stay away from that score line again. But because we've got ample room, we'll be okay. So we're just going to glue these one on each side of that score line. And then they can write their sentiments on that if they choose to. Just like that. There we go. And I'm in some swaps. It's always nice to have some cards to include with the little swap there. And on this set of dies, it's really nice because the first one has these dots. And let me show you here on this. No, you can't see that. Well, maybe you can see it on purple. See the little, it's got the little perforated dots in it. And then on the second one, it just has a decorative little edge there. So then it goes every other one all the way down to the smallest one. So it's kind of nice that it has a different thing. So let's go ahead and open this back up. And we're going to glue our orange piece in here. Center that. And believe it or not, this card is almost done. They go really fast, and it's a nice little fun card. So, and I'm going to show you how to do one without any circles. For those who don't want to mess with all the circles, it's even easier than this one. Okay, so I'm going to bring my card up and figure out where about I want it to open, and then that's where I want my tag. Now you can see this is a long tag too, so I don't want it to stick out either. So maybe just like that. And I actually have two chipboards on there. And I think I'm going to pull one off because I think, and I didn't, it was just a piece of chipboard I had laying around. So I just put it on. It was already doubled up. There we go. That's better. Otherwise it sits up so high. Chipboard peels apart easy. I just use my Cricut spatula and just kind of peel it apart. That'll be better, I think. Not so thick. There we go. And I might just cut these edges down a little bit too to make it just a little bit smaller. Oops. Maybe. There we go. This one. Just like that. And just give those another little smudge with the... This is just my Distress ink, and it's Crackling Campfire. All right. There we go. Just like that. So we're going to go ahead and glue that down. Let me see if I can peel some more of that chipboard off, because I still think it's a little thick. It doesn't need, it just has to be bumped up enough to hold that open. There we go. See, I just got a thin amount there. Maybe like a extra couple of pieces of cardstock or something. Just something to keep it up there. And okay. All right. Yeah, I just grabbed a piece of it, and I should have, once I glued it on, I should have tested it, or I should have tested it before I glued it on, actually. But by me doing things like that and you seeing it, then you know what not to do. Okay, I think we're good now. So let's go ahead and just add some glue. And that I use that instead of pop-up dots. You can use pop dots if you want, but then again, those can be a little thick. So let's bring this in. Make sure we're inside, straight. That looks good. Yeah. Perfect. So I'm going to close It'll be like that. And it'll still fit in an envelope nice. It's a little thick, but not bad. And then when it comes up, just like that. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. Isn't that cute? Okay. And he's not that much smaller than the other one. You know, just about a ½ inch. So not bad. It's a nice size card. All right. So for our last one here, we are just going to take a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. You're going to cut that in half at 4 1/4. So on your 4 1/4 sheet, so this is 4 1/4 by 8.5. You're going to fold it in half. Okay. Now, if you want to score it on a scoreboard, that's fine, but I usually just fold it in half and then I burnish it. All right. You're going to open it up and you're going to do the same thing we did the circle. You're going to bring this down to your halfway point and you're going to fold it and burnish. Okay. So this is our flip here. See? Just like that. You can make these any size. Any size you want. You can make them square. You can make them oval. You can make them rectangle like this one. Any size you want, right down to a little tiny tag like one. The key is your first fold goes in half. Then you open it up and you fold your top half down inside. And that's all there is to it. And that's what creates your easel part, okay? So I've got some stuff pre-cut here. So let's go ahead and start on the inside. I have a piece of black cardstock, and that is 5 3/8 high. I think. Let me measure. I should better measure. Yes, 5 3/8 high by 4 1/8 wide. So this one's 1/8 of an inch smaller than the other, and you're going to need 2 of those because the outside one is that same. Okay, I think, pretty sure. Yes, so you need 2 of those, and this was made with scraps. So just back in my Halloween stuff and my scrap cardstock, everything was made with scraps. This I used a full sheet because I knew I was going to need one for the practice circle and to stamp on, so, and to use it for the side. So we got that. And then the next piece is going to be 1/4 of an inch smaller. So we're at 4 wide by 5 1/4 high. And we're just going to glue that down on top. And you don't have to do this many layers, but I just thought it would look nice because I used a white card base. You could use a black card base and then just, or you can use decorative card base, whatever you want. It's whatever appeals to you. Any season. You can do birthday cards this way. You can do Valentine's cards. Doesn't have to be just Halloween or fall or. So then we have 2 pieces that I've cut like to fit right in here. Okay. And you can just use a decorative cardstock if you want. But you can also allow them to write on the back part too. So this was just cut just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So there's no, because I didn't want it to get too thick. So again, we're just going to stay away from that score line like we did before. I didn't want the paper to get too thick in here. So that's why I just did the one piece here. So that's decorative then when if they open it up. Okay. I'm going to rescore. Let's get a little thick in there. And then they can put their sentiment on the back side of the card. And you can put your information back there, made by or whatever. Okay. So now for the front, we have another piece of the black cardstock. And then we have another piece that's just 1/8 of an inch smaller than that. So you're actually going to need 2 of the black, and then 2 of the decorative cardstock that size, okay? Right. There we go. We're just going to glue this down. And like I said, just scraps. You can use your other stuff, but I didn't see any sense of doing that when I have all these scraps yet. Okay. And these are from all different paper lines. All different ones. Okay, so we're gonna, then let's finish decorating. I then had a stamp from, let's see, this is from an old stamp. It is Inkadoo stamp. It's an old Halloween one. 99133, 2011. So that's how old it is. So we stamped that and the word trick or treat from that. And I just smudged it with my Crackling Campfire Distress ink. And then I have a Cricut cutout, that house that was in my stash. You can tell it's kind of like a little bent and wobbly, but that's not going to matter because once we get the glue down, it'll hold it. It was from one of last year's projects. So, and I just glued some extra cardstock behind the pumpkin and the tombstone. Again, just like that. I just thought it'd be fun, little scene on there. Okay, so we're gonna put this down like so. And yes, there's some ink on there, but that's all right. We're just gonna, it's oops. It's art glitter glue, so it'll dry clear. Let me dab up some of that I don't need on there. There we go. And then this is just a fence cutout. Again, same thing. Just a piece I had from last year. So I'm just going to kind of put, I don't need it on the little post, just maybe on these bigger ones. Now, if you wanted with your cutout, or you can use stickers or whatever you want on yours. Now, this just happens to line up nice so that that tombstone is visible. And then a little bit hangs over, but we'll trim that off in a minute. Need a little bit behind that door there. Here we go. Because in the other project, the door was open. I've got a little bat from some of my stash. This is just these glitter strip. I don't remember if they were Hobby Lobby brand or what brand they were, but I've had them in my stash forever. So I thought we'd just add that up in here somewhere like that, just as a decorative item. And then we'll get our trick-or-treaters in here in the front. But these really do come together nice, you know, so you could do a good variety of them. There we go. Our trick-or-treaters are in. Oh, they cover up the tombstone anyway. But hey, I know it's decorated. That's funny. Okay. So that's on there. And then this is our little trick-or-treat. I just cut the cardstock, stamped, and then I used my corner round edge again. You can see there's scrap chipboard on there. So let's go ahead and glue this down. Remember, just the bottom half. We don't want it on the top half. I hope you guys give this a try. This is really an easy card. Like I said, you don't need the circles to do it. But if you got oval dies, and remember this is just a little bit smaller. Oops, I gotta snip those before I can't get to them. It's just a little bit smaller than the card base. glue's set good. There we go. Isn't that cute? Pops up like that. Isn't that cute? And that's just like, these were left from last year. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just add a couple things here and there. So let's go ahead and put our sentiment on right there. I thought that would be cute with the trick-or-treaters. So let's add our glue. Again, you can use Pop Dots, but I just used my scrap chipboard because I have tons of it. Can you believe we're almost done? There we go. I'm thinking about right there. Okay. Just like that. Perfect. There we go. So down. And again, that's not too thick to send. You can throw that in an envelope. And then they pull it up. Just like that. Perfect. Isn't that cute? I think it's adorable. All right. I hope you give it a try. And we've got our different ones. We've got a couple Halloween ones and a fall one here. So any season, any shape, just give it a try and practice a little bit with it. I hope you had fun. Hope you enjoy it and hope you come back. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please do so at this time. Go ahead and hit that red bell down in the right-hand corner. I'm sorry, red subscribe button down in the right-hand corner. When the bell pops up, hit that bell and you'll be notified each time I put up a new video. And as always, until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.